Before anything comes together, there's always a process you never get to see. We go behind the makers, the doers, the ones figuring it out step by step.
Everyone knows the outcome, but we show you the in-between.
This is Crash That. Hello and welcome to Scratch That. I'm Boo.
And I'm Micky, and today we're tuning into something we all live with, music.
We're breaking it down layer by layer, from the studio to some very unexpected places. There's rhythm and there's noise.
We're, together with you, we'll hit rewind and start from zero.
And speaking about starting from zero, today Robby, our in-house builder, is taking on a very interesting musical challenge. It's time for Robby Tries.
This is Robby Tries.
Thank you guys for the intro. Today I'm going to be making one of the first instruments that has ever existed, the flute. And did you know that the original flutes were made out of bones? Today we're going to use something way less creepy and way more accessible. A PVC pipe and a drill. It's going to be messy, it's going to be loud, and probably in all the wrong ways. But like everything here, I'm going to be starting from scratch. Back to you, Boo and Micky.
Looks like Robby's off to a solid start, but we're going to be checking back with him in a bit.
But before that, let's slow down and get into something and step back to the sound where first becomes a physical experience.
Because before digital and before streaming, there was vinyl.
We went to a pressing plant to see how sound actually becomes a physical experience. Let's have a look.
Welcome to Dunk Pressing. Please come in, let me show you around. The special feature of this pressing plant is the fact that we really like to focus on colored vinyl, limited runs or bigger runs, it doesn't matter. The client can go as crazy as he wants. Usually they use some of our previous delivered records as a starting point. Some clients really make it a thing to come up with stuff that we never did before. So the limitations are actually only technical. The fact that we have the manual pressing machines allows us to interfere in the process at every step we want to, so we can manipulate the compound before it's being pressed, and that's how this nice result comes out. What basically happens in the press is that we shape the compound into a vinyl record, and that's also when the music is coming onto the vinyl, so it's happening in the same movement. We start with the compound in the shape of small pellets. This is going into the extruder, and it comes out like a puck or a cake if you want to. Then this is going into the press, as you can see now. When pushing the two buttons, the press closes. Steam is going through to heat up the compound even more, and then it starts pressing. And when you hear the click, it starts cooling. So you need to cool as long as you heat to make sure the record is not soft anymore, it's an actual solid record. When it comes out, it's a little bit bigger than you would expect, so then it goes on to the trimmer. If you don't have the edges around, you can't be sure that the outside groove is perfectly filled and will sound perfectly good. And then it's being checked before it goes on to the spindle. We check every single record, because if something goes wrong, something happens with the stamper, it will be pressed in every next record. So it's really crucial to keep the quality of the stamper and the integrity of the stamper monitored during the process. Pressing vinyl is, I think it's a bit of art because of all the colors in here. But it's also a matter of understanding the process, making sure what is required to keep the quality high. So it's definitely a combination of knowledge, experience, and creativity. Yeah.
How cool was that?
Right?
Yeah, it's something about seeing music go from sound to an actual object.
And you know what's even cooler? They told me that on a busy day, one of those pressing plants can make up to 3,000 records.
Wow, and they do it mostly by hand, which really makes you appreciate every record you've ever picked up.
Right? And speaking about hands-on, when we left off, Robby started making a flute. I'm wondering how that's going.
Yeah, me too. But before that, we're going to take a short break. And after that, hopefully we'll have a fully functional flute.
Hey, zou ik misschien mogen? Ah, Engels. Can I have your number? Merci beaucoup. Est-ce que tu veux sortir avec moi?
Oui!
Verbal, this is great, man. I can talk a different language for 40 minutes, and the girls, they love it.
En fait, je l'ai déjà compris la première fois. Je voulais juste voir s'il mérite de sortir avec moi. Mais après que j'ai vu tous ses efforts, je l'aime encore plus.
Buy now for just $4.20. But wait, call now and get 2 for only $6.99. Verbiol, every language, just a bill away. Verbiol is not responsible for any side effects or bodily harm resulting from use.
Welcome back. You're watching Scratch That. Before we left, Robby was making a flute, and we're about to check in with him and see how that's going. What's up, Robby?
What's up, Boo Boo? Yeah, now I've made a lot of process, as you can see. First of all, I made a few markings on the flute so I know where to cut it, and also where to drill the holes, of course, because how can I otherwise play the flute if I have no finger holes, you know? So yeah, I have the marking over here, and I have 8 markings over here for all the notes, of course. I think I'm just gonna start and cut it. So yeah. Oh wait, important thing, safety first. Always use protection kits.
He's an actual expert.
I know, that's why you hired me, right?
Be careful.
I'm always careful. And the last part, I'm just gonna twist it off so I don't saw into my own leg or something. You never know what's gonna happen, you know? And then I'm gonna take the drill and the smallest bit that I have so I can make a few guiding holes. This way. Just slow and steady. I'm gonna put it back into the holder, which is very handy, of course. And now I'm just gonna slowly drill the holes.
Have you ever played the flute, Micky?
Not this kind of flute.
Yeah, Robby seems to be...
I'm focused.
Yeah,
you can
he's
tell.
very
Fully locked
focused.
in.
Yeah,
he's
of
locked
course.
in. He's
See,
doing
3
it
holes
great,
down,
yeah.
3 more to go.
Are you gonna play it after?
I think I am.
Oh.
It's been a long while since I've played. It's been like 12 years, so I might be a little bit rusty, but
You'll do great.
see, now we're down to the last tool, but I'm used to working with 1 hole, so it's gonna be fine. So yeah, that's everything. The holes are drilled, and now I'm gonna make them a little bit bigger with the other drill bits. And yeah, back to you, Micky and Boo Boo.
Okay, looks like Robby is fully locked in.
Yeah, it's looking very messy over there. But that got me thinking that music nowadays gets built in a completely different way.
Yeah, right, not with drills and pipes, more like a bedroom producer with a laptop and headphones.
Yeah, and that's why we went and spent some time with 2 music producers in their studio.
It's the part where we usually skip, but where it actually comes alive. So let's have a look.
There's a bunch of messing around and trial and error before you find something that you're happy with or you think, okay, I see this going somewhere.
What you see here is basically, here I basically program my drums on. This is just a volume switch. Here I have some few pedals to design guitar or either piano. This one is like a small synthesizer where you have various sounds. And here some little percussion elements. I also got some drums. I like to record them as well. And
What we can record ourselves, we do ourselves, I think.
Yes.
It's fun making that. I think sometimes you can create really nice textures or rhythmic things by just messing around with a bunch of settings on different effect pedals, and I guess those are happy accidents, and that's how some cool ideas they stick.
yeah, I would also say if you just sit on a project and you have like a flow and just come up with ideas, and I think that's the most amazing part, and I love it. Yeah.
Today I brought a record, for example. It has a track with a really nice percussion loop in the beginning, and I thought we might be able to sample that percussion loop. So I guess sometimes there's a reference track or some snippet of a track that you listen to that is sounds really good, and then you kind of take inspiration, you put in that element that you're inspired by, and then you paint a new picture around something that you stole, sampled, whatever, from somewhere else. Shit. It's quite fast. Let me try that again. It's not super clean.
Yeah, I mean, it was the first try. I think as I also come from the direction of more like being a DJ, I think drums are really important for me as well. I would say I often start with the drums, but also sometimes Felix has a chord progression or something. Yeah, so we have the bass. But as you also just collect ideas, you don't really you briefly do the volume, but like mixing you do at the end.
We both kind of have a similar goal where we want to go with the track, and I think if you're working on something that you're both trying to chase, like a certain sound, a certain kind of vibe, I think that's what makes collaboration definitely easier.
It's very disco-y, yes.
Well, there's something really cool about watching the whole process, especially when it looks that easy. And our next guest takes it even further. He builds his entire music right on stage with just a loop pedal and a bunch of instruments. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tam Nomad. So Tam, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Just let's take a step back. How did you start with looping?
So I'm originally a drummer and a percussionist. So I was in a few bands for the past decade or so. And then Corona hit, and I kind of was looking for a way to be able to still make music within my own little apartment. And that's where I build up like a more electronic side of my music, and I slowly built it from there. And the only way for me to play live instruments with myself, so to say, is to copy myself. So that meant I had to get a looper pedal to be able to
so cool
keep myself going. So to say,
COVID did you actually good?
Yeah, well, only that small part. The rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's like the most challenging part about doing the live performance?
So yeah, especially the build up towards it is that I have to do everything myself, which is kind of something I overlooked, but also like the hoisting all the gear and connecting. That's very different than from playing with a band. And then the performance itself, you can only rely on yourself. So if you make a mistake, there's no one to kind of try to polish it away. But again, that also adds a bit tension to it, and I feel that from tension a lot of interesting creative things can come. So,
okay.
Yeah.
And be honest with me, you play live, how much is planned beforehand?
Usually, so when I play like a full live set of an hour, 1.5 hours, I only plan like small building blocks, and then I kind of decide on the moment what I do with those building blocks and where I take it. And for these smaller performances that you will see in a bit, I plan a bit more ahead, so it's easier to control.
So cool.
It's a bit in between.
Did you play for an hour on stage?
Yeah, yeah.
That's great. And what's like one thing about this kind of performance that like totally caught you off guard?
Yeah, the bunch of technical stuff that you have to deal with. So being a drummer, usually you don't have like electronic instruments. It's just you hit and you hear a sound. What I have now involves a lot of cabling, wiring, and programming synthesizers as well. So that's new.
Already, thank you for being here today. Tam's going to be performing for us a little later, but before we get to that, what kind of instruments are you going to be using?
So the piece that I will play in a bit mainly revolves around the darbuka, which is a drum from the Middle East and North Africa.
Okay.
And the kalimba, which is a thumb piano for the melodic content. And I can use my guitar pedals to morph the sounds to become other elements in the track, so to say. That's
so cool. And talking about instruments, we've got one being built here in the studio right now. How's that going, Boo Boo?
Well, it looks absolutely incredible. I gotta be honest, Robby. You're amazing, man.
Thank you.
So, can you show us your flute?
Take me out to dinner first, man. Damn.
This guy.
No, I'm just kidding. I can show you my flute. In the meantime, I've made a lot of progress. I've made the finger holes a little bit bigger, so when I play, hopefully I'll play a kind of clean note. I've also, the part that I cut it off like in an angle, so when I put it over, hopefully this wooden piece will stay in and I won't shoot it at somebody's face.
Yeah.
And if I did everything correctly, it should make a sound. It should sound like a flute.
Are you also gonna play it?
Do you want me to play it?
I think the people also want you to play it.
Do the people want me to play it?
I mean,
I think that's a yes. I think that's a yes. What should I play?
do you know Mask Off by Future?
I think I do. Should I try it?
Yeah, of course.
Wait. It's been a long while. It's been a long while. That was pretty good, right?
Wow,
That was pretty
Robby.
good, right?
You're an absolute professional.
Thank you
gotta
so
be
much.
honest. And now I gotta thank you. I gotta thank you for continuing to entertain us. And tune in, people, next time, because I'm sure you want to see what Robby's gonna do, what he's gonna build next time. But for now, before Tam's performance, we want to showcase a school project that the students have been working on. So tune in, because I'm sure you don't want to miss what's coming up.
Think comedy gone too far or not far enough?
Next week, we dig deep into the jokes that make people laugh or lose their minds.
From pencil slaps to street debates, no topic is too risky and no laugh is off limits.
Welcome to Offended Yet, where the only thing getting cancelled is...
Your comfort zone. Make sure to tune in on our show on the 11th of June on the Hub.
Tune in before someone cancels us.
Welcome back, just in time for the final act.
But before that, we want to thank everybody that made the show possible. Our guests, our audience, and of course you watching at home.
We'll see you next time with more stories and more mess.
And remember, no matter what it is,
everything starts from scratch.
Now give it up for Tam Nomad.
you.